Repositioned itself after the change in ownership, as well as the very recent departure of longtime CEO Ramos. Absa has managed to report a slight increase in its 2018 earnings. Deposits did manage to grow by around 11%, with strong growth across its 12 countries in Africa. It does have over 42,000 staff or employees. So earlier, I managed to catch up with the newly appointed interim CEO Rene and the group financial director Jason Quinn. Good morning. Thank you so much for the time. I'll start with you, Rene. It has been only a few days that you've been at the company, but how have things fared thus far? How have you felt with regard to the essence of the business?
Absolutely. I went around the country, met with our senior leadership all around the country, found a huge amount of excitement, and it excited me. So yes, we're on track. Yeah.
And yourself, Jason? I mean, you've obviously seen quite a few changes. It hasn't been the most amazing set of earnings. Headline earnings only going up around 3%, revenue growth around 4% as well. But the going has been tough, even for consumers.
Well, thanks. Yeah, I think we're actually quite proud of our results. We achieved our consensus, so we put guidance out, and that's exactly what we achieved for last year. You mentioned the headline earnings, but you've got to unpack that and look at the momentum in the business. And the momentum in the retail bank in South Africa has improved a lot compared to a year ago. Whether you're looking at loans we've extended to the sort of market or deposits that we've raised. And so that's going to stand us in good stead into the future.
Yeah, I mean, but even locally, right? And I mean, it continues to be a difficult time. So how do you take advantage from here on in and ensure that you continue to track that growth?
I think one has to look and see how the strategy was developed. It wasn't developed around a few individuals sitting in a room. Yeah. It came from the bottom up, where the whole leadership team said, this is what we want to do, this is how we want to do it. And that still is in place, right? And now you have the leaders sitting around the executive committee, running their businesses, busy restructuring it in line with that strategy. That hasn't changed. And so it's full steam ahead.
I mean, how do you plan then to perhaps continue to take advantage of that growth from here on in and be the best placed to sort of take things a little higher?
Now, if you look at it, we put out a retail banking strategy in December, and it puts customer right at the center of everything we do. So across our colleagues, whether you're in the front office, in a branch, or sitting in a call center, or sitting at that office, we're all focused on making sure that the customer experience is a far better one than what they'd previously been.
And yourself then, Jason? I mean, it continues to be a time where you have to find, platforms across the globe, across Africa as well. How difficult is it to ensure that, things do come to the fore as you'd like them to, and you continue to get the best out of the business?
Well, a couple of ways. So as we become a more efficient organization, and we need to invest to get there, there's lots of stuff we still have to do to get there. We'll be passing on those savings also to our customer base. So we expect to be able to grow our business, we expect to be able to improve our returns, we expect to be able to give customers better service at the right value as well.
And yourself, Rene, what resonated with you in the bank? I mean, you've come in and you've decided to take on what is a new leash. Are you finding that, leadership is aimed in the right direction? And you've changed the brand. Do you feel that it resonates with you?
Well, I think to carry on with the momentum that we've seen, not to be ridiculous about it, and i.e. take on unnecessary risk. I think there's good opportunity, especially in transactional banking, where it's capital light and fee income generative.
Just locally, or are you looking perhaps even further now?
More locally, but also we want to expand where we are in Africa with that type of strategy. I think they've been, set free to come up with their strategies and to empower that. And I think we can best do that in country. Yeah. But having said that, with the African footprint of CIB, having a seamless process for our customers dealing with us and in Africa, that is key critical, and I think we've got a very good approach to that.
Yeah. Gentlemen, thank you so much for the time. Really, really appreciate it. Well, the shares, of course, in Absa today going down 2.2%. That's despite the slight earnings uptake there. So clearly, investors not necessarily liking the full story of Absa and really hoping for a little bit more. As we spoke to Bright Kumalo a little bit earlier on, he detailed, of course,